Welcome to day 3 of 5. Could be day 3 or 4 at the moment, not too sure. Like I said earlier, or yesterday, I'm down to my last camera battery. I've got 1.5 phone charger batteries left, then that's it. I've got my car, so I could use my car anyway, but not for the camcorder. I'm going to have to use my phone for doing video very soon. Today's activities are going to be reading Creek Stewart's book, Build the Perfect Bug Out Survival Skills, and a little bit of playing on the harmonica. Ain't got a clue how to play it, but hey ho. I would say it's better than the airplane noise, but I'll let you be the judge of that one. Waiting for the kettle to boil, so I can have a cup of tea and a slice of cake. I'm only doing this because there's no other campers around me, so if there was, I'll just be sitting here reading. Build a perfect bug out survival skills. This is Creek Stewart. There's 2 other books by him, well there's probably several books by him, but the other one, Build a Perfect, you got the bug out bag and then you got the bug out vehicle. I've got both of those plus this, so yeah, very good read. There you go, on the back you can see the other 2. Yeah, so yeah, that's Creek Stewart Bug Out Survival Skills. Oh, look at this, nice cup of tea and a slice of cake. Cake. Cheers everyone. Oh, yeah. Superb. Very nice. I've got Mrs. Chunky Prepper here with me now, so it's no longer a solo camp. She may be staying just the one night, or it could be 2. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Catch you later. Good news folks, with Mrs. Chunky Prepper, she brought down the 12-volt battery, so I now have means of charging up my camcorder, batteries and phone, so we can get loads more video done. What we've got on the go at the moment is chicken. Mrs. Chunky Prepper don't like her chicken hot, spicy, but I do, so 5 pieces for her, 5 pieces for me, and the pieces for me, I've got peri-peri spices on them. Hi all, welcome to day 4 or 5. It definitely will be a day 5 now. Mrs. Chunky's joined me. She brought me the, I think I mentioned this already, 12 volt battery, so I've been able to charge up my camcorder batteries as well as my phone chargers, so we're sorted for tonight. We had a lovely fire last night, cooked some chicken. Just the chunkies were just plain. Mine were peri-peri chicken. Very tasty, no heat though, so next time I'm going to mix the Cajun spice with the peri-peri spice and see what I come up with. I should get the loads of flavour as well as the heat. I've showed you these already, I believe I have at some point, might not have done. It was my birthday Monday. This is what my son, mine, Oddbod, got me. He got me the Camillus Carnivore X, which is a titanium coated blade. Camillus titanium bonded. Got to put a lanyard on there yet before I start swinging this around. It's got a lovely saw on the top. It's got like a hollow grind. It's got a chisel bit at the top. It's got a gutting hook. Brake glass at the back, or skull breaker as they call it. Very nice. I'll do a little close up on that. So yeah, this is the titanium Camillus, the Carnivore X. Let's bring it up a bit. Lovely saw in action on there. So lovely. You can see the shine there, reflecting. But yeah, just need to put a lanyard on that. Quite nice that. That comes with a little knife. Could be like a little neck knife that comes off there. It's also got the parts on there for a wrench, ratchet, to undo nuts. That is a barb, that's not a gutting part, that's a barb. The reason why I say it's a barb is because on here, if you put this onto a pole, you can then strap it around on these parts, and then you got your spear, like a fishing spear, for, you know. You got your cutting edge obviously on there, very sharp little knife, and that's the Camillus. Nice birthday present from Oddbod. Thank you very much. And I think I've shown you this before. This is my knife, the knife I made in the sheath. I didn't do the fire steel, I took that from another knife. I will be making them as well. Bit of oil on there to keep the blade so it don't go rusty. So yeah, nice little one. It's called the Chunk. 6mm metal. And that's just ordinary metal, it's not A1, it's just mould steel. It doesn't hold an edge, and that's because, like, you know what it is. I took it through all the tempering stages and stuff like that just to start practicing them. It's got aluminium pins and aluminium, 10mm aluminium lanyard tube. It's got nice, or I believe it's a nice shape to it. But it's only a prototype, it's just to see what I think, you know, what it feels like. I can do a little bit of whittling with it. Bit I like, as I said before, is a bit where you can put your thumb there on the handle rather than on the blade, back on the spine. So yeah, it's a knife I made. It'd be nice to have like a paracord. Right, sorry about that, this is what I meant. is it a paracord dongle or something like that? I could put something like that very similar to this on the actual neck knife, the chunkette, so just so you've got something else to grab hold of while you're taking it out of the sheath. I don't think it'll look silly. It'll only be a smaller version of that. Maybe this is what Mrs. Chunky Prepper made up. She's practicing doing this kind of stuff. This is the Victorinox Soldier. Love this knife. And I actually do like the serrated blade. Some people don't. I do. I think it's brilliant for when you're using it as a camp knife for cutting tomatoes and stuff like that. But yeah, I actually quite like that. I like the shape of it. It's a bit weird. It's like, you know, it's like a crocodile type thing if you look at it like that. But anyway, yeah, it's nice. It's a locking blade. Obviously, it's not UK legal, but you're only going to use it doing bushcrafty stuff, and I can't see what the problem is. But it's nice having the paracord dongle on it. You know, you can put your knife in your pocket. You can leave the dongle just slightly out so it's easy to grab hold of, rather than putting your hands in your pockets and stuff. Back to the chunk. So yep, that's the chunk. Do like this knife, and that's the whole point of doing it, actually taking it to the prototype stage. The next stage will be to copy this in 01 tool steel with the few modifications like I said. Definitely going to keep this part. Love that, do like that what it is. Obviously you're going to change the grind, and only going to be about 15mm grind there. The length, it will stay the same. If I could, I would actually go a little bit more, because as you can see there, it's only just poking through. So I'd like to go more, because when you go into this position from there, you don't lose it, you still got a good grip. So it'd be nice if that come out more, but then I think your handle will be too long compared to the blade. At the moment I think it looks quite nice the way it is. This is the sheath I made for it. First sheath. Again, I think that come out quite well. The back, yeah, I need to do some work on the back, how to hide the stitching, you know, the knots and that lot. My grooves are not straight, but it's fine. Everything else, the actual bit's okay. The fire steel, that's fine. That was a bit weird because I had to shave that down. You can, if you look there, it's hard to tell, but you can see that does hump a little bit, so I'm going to have to shave that down a little bit further next time. Waterproofed it inside. But yeah, I think from my first attempt, I quite like that. Sits nicely. I haven't made the dongle. Is the dongle? Yeah, the dongle yet. But your belt can easily go through there, and that's how I've been wearing it anyway. On the side on my belt when I do my dongle, and then obviously I'll be using the D-ring from my belt from the dongle. So yeah, that's the sheath, and that's the knife chunk. What else have I got to show you? Oh yeah, another Scotch egg from the farm shop. Very nice. The meat is like, if you like your Lincolnshire sausages, the meat is very similar to that. It's not exact, but very similar. The egg's lovely. You know, free range eggs. Beautiful. And to wash it down with, I've got my orange. Today's light reading. We're going to have a little go at going through some of this. The SAS Survival Guide by Lofty Wiseman pocketbook, and I've also got the Collins Gem trees, so I can start identifying some of the trees in this wood. If I can. Be nice to see, find certain trees now then come back in winter to see if I can still identify them just by the bark and stuff like that. I think it'll be quite hard to do. Still day 4 or 5. Just enjoyed my lovely Scotch egg. Had some orange juice. Or I'll give the SAS Rival Guide pocketbook a little look. Nice little book this. Edible fungi. Also you got poisonous fungi. Desert plants, tropical plants, seashore plants, all sorts, campcraft, shelters, tropical shelters, snares, traps and trapping, same thing. You got health, so open treatment, types of burn, stitching wounds, what to do with arterial bleeding, resuscitation, choking. You've got the Morse code in there. Interpreting maps. You've got some knots. Fishing knots. Lashings, how to do lashings and knots. Clinic knot. Which I'm using on my tarp now. Knots for securing loads. Quick release knots. Very good book. And that's the SAS Survival Guide by Lofty Wiseman. Collins Trees. Nice illustrations in there as well. Not too sure if it does do what I think it does, and that is you get to see what the bark and that lot looks like. So yeah, look, there's the bark. So come winter time, when you ain't no leaf foliage, you can probably identify it by what the bark looks like. Again, another nice little book. And that's Collins Gem Trees. Still day 4 of 5. Tonight we're going to have, only because the liver still smells quite nice, liver and onion with mixed veg. I'm going to have to cut all the veg quite thin because liver don't take long to cook itself. I don't want to be eating a bit of rubber just because I was waiting for carrot to cook or a bit of potato to soften up. We're going to have liver and mixed veg, pan fried over rice. I've got the Swedish triangular on the go to cook the rice. green pepper that's going in at the same time. Normally you wouldn't do. It's a soft vegetable, so you'll probably pull it in one of the last things to go in. A bit like mushrooms really, I suppose. But if you make sure you cut them all in reasonable sizes compared to the softness of the vegetable, so obviously peppers being a little bit softer, you'll probably make them more chunkier. Carrots being quite hard, then you'll make them thinner. Cut them thinner. So that's the carrots, the onions, the peppers, the mushrooms done. Just a little bit of garlic. I'm going to chop these up, but leave them in big chunks rather than small chunks. I'm going to leave them in big chunks. Just like that. Like I said, they're all going to go in together. And that's the veg prepped. But I only just realised I've got some potatoes left over as well, so I'm going to chop them up in little cubes or put them in quarters and see if I can put them in as well, but bearing in mind that they might take a little bit longer, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful, I suppose. Potato done. I must admit the liver looks like it's been a little bit like it's seen better days, but that's because it's been in the car. I've always been told to use my senses, as in sense of smell, and it actually smells fine, just discoloured because it hasn't been in the fridge. I'll let you know next week whether it was a good thing or not. Wind's starting to pick up now, so sorry if it's a bit noisy. It's affecting the actual gas stove because that's been on a little while and that should be sizzling, but it's not, so the wind must be blowing the heat underneath everywhere. And again, we've got the aeroplanes in the sky, which happens every 10 minutes or so there's not much I can do about that. I'll bring you back when we're cooking on gas. Now, I did say liver and onions, and I did have the liver on there earlier, but after just being in a pan for a little while, they just didn't look right. They was discoloured, worse than what they were before, so change of plan. We're now going to have blockwurst sausages. So I'm going to just fry these up, put the veg in, fry it up, and hopefully we have a decent meal. I'm sure we will do. Just had to rearrange the burner, the gas burner. The wind was just blowing on it and nothing was happening. But now you can hear the sizzle, so we are cooking on gas. Yeah, I didn't want to risk the liver. I didn't want to make such a good camp into a really bad one. It didn't smell off, it just didn't look right in the end. Didn't want to risk it. So I'm just going to give this a little stir. Sausage itself is already cooked, so all I'm really doing is reheating it. I'm sure it's going to be fine. All that mucking around with the liver and moving the gas stove, the actual rice is cooked and done already, so I might have to put that on again in about 10-20 minutes once this is cooking. As always with my cooking, I always seem to do too much. I put the vegetables in there now with the sausages, and that's the carrots, the peppers, the onions, the garlic, what else, potatoes, mushrooms. So I've got everything in there now. I think that pan's a little bit too small, or the vegetables probably a little bit too many, should I say. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to fill up with water soon, and we're going to turn that into some sort of like a stew of some kind. We'll see how it goes. We are getting there now, very slowly. As you can see, some of the vegetables and the meat is browning. I'll just put a little bit of water in there in a minute with a bit of stock cubes, and that'll help it cook through then, soften up the vegetables. And then just got to work out what kind of sauce we're going to put with it. Cajun, peri peri, barbecue. We have decided on, it will focus, peri peri, Tesco's own. You could obviously get that from other leading supermarkets, but and when we had peri peri chicken last night, it wasn't hot at all, but whether this way it might be different and it might be hot. What I'm going to put in there is a shot of honey, so whether that will chill it out a little bit or make it sweet and sticky, we will find out. I've added some tomato puree as well, just to try and thicken the sauce up. Time to have a little look. Definitely starting to look a lot better now. The tomato puree has definitely thickened up the sauce. I've added salt, pepper. The vegetables, I can feel they're actually softened now. So we are actually minutes away of having a nice bratwurst sausage casserole, sweet and sour thing. Peri peri with honey and everything else, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be lovely. Okay, Mrs. Chunky, she has pillow rice, and I have Mexican rice. Need a bigger spoon, I think. Would have made things a lot easier. So there we go. We have a bratwurst sausage casserole thingy, peri peri, sweet and sour honey sauce. Mrs. Chunky has it on pillow rice and I have it on Mexican rice. Don't look too bad if you ask me. Morning all. Welcome to day 5 of 5. First coffee of the morning. This is the part that nobody likes. It's the packing up.
Fire's out. Already been through the fire to make sure there's nothing in there. I think we're only through about a couple of bottle caps away in there. I think I recovered them. Covered most things, I suppose. Obviously anything should be in there will be floating. I think there was a little bit of tin foil. Yeah. I think everything out. None of it. Leave that for about 5-10 minutes, that'll soak through. Some of this scouring pad from last time for the prepper's meat. The idea is to leave no trace, but unfortunately with a fire this big there's going to be some sort of like scarring on the ground. I think Mrs. Chunky's done a great job. I think that's the best it's going to get. Like I say, I used the same fire pit as somebody else, what somebody made at the prepper's meat. I didn't want to do any more damage than what was already done. It's not perfect, but it will grow back. Just going to tidy it up a bit more. It's the best we can do. Looks good enough to me. Mrs. Chunky just having a last look just to make sure there's nothing been left alone on the ground or anything. You can see where the fire was. Like I said, this pitch was used last week in the prepper's meat. Hi again all. We have now packed up, we've had a look round, we've picked up any bits of paper we may have left behind. We've left it cleaner than what it was, I believe. It was a good site anyway, it weren't too bad. I did mention about the branches and that lot being cut and that lot, and they were low branches, so healthy wise you would expect people to cut them down, because the last thing you want is to a branch to go in your eyes.
just like to say thank you for watching. It's been great. 4 nights, 5 days, 2 nights on my own. The last 2 nights with Mrs. Chunky, so thank you, Mrs. Chunky. Much appreciated. But yeah, we're done. That's it. I don't know when the next camp's going to be. Next time it'll be a bit more than just food and chilling and that lot. I'll start doing some proper bushcraft stuff. Probably make a few things, make a shower, make a bow, make a fire drill, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, if you like what you see, hit like, subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.